Now, the residents of Phoenix say they're worried about the EFF's national shutdown of Monday. Police Minister Bheki Cele visited the Durban community today to engage residents and business owners. During the July 2021 riots, Phoenix became a hotbed of racial violence and deaths, with most black people in KwaZulu-Natal pointing a finger at the mostly Indian community. For more on this, we're now joined by Mervin Govender, the General Secretary of Phoenix Tenants and Residents Association. Very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. Some concerns ahead of this national shutdown. Of course, we cannot forget what happened in Phoenix. Talk to us about some of your worries.
Yes, Paul, thank you, and good evening to your viewers. Word on the ground is that, some communities we're hearing that they were mobilizing because of the, reckless and irresponsible speech of the president of the EFF, or the leader of EFF. So my knowledge is that this march was actually, the four main issues was the removal of Ramaphosa. The other issue was the ESCOM crisis. The third issue was the high crime rate, high crime levels, and the fourth issue was unemployment. So where these racial undertones and the issue of attacking Phoenix and also implicating that members of the Red Berets would now, if they come in, that they must not be met with, resistance. I think Phoenix is a peace-loving area. We build strong Indo-African relations. And the issue of inciting violence is very reckless. It's not reckless from the leader of EFF only, and it's not limited to him. The DA, Anif Hussain, has also come up and said that Phoenix is ready. And it further exacerbated another video that the UIM leader, Neil de Beer, actually, made a video stating that we're going to be waiting for Julius. Now, these inflammatory statements actually incite violence. And, I've been in Phoenix today. We've been driving around. I'm actually attending an indentured labor function, function. So it's like, people are getting hyped up, and the issue of false media reports, and these are senior leaders in the political circles. So if these guys are spewing venom in terms of dividing communities, our role as a civic is to ensure that these communities come together. The EFF is entitled to to the Bill of Rights in terms of their right to protest, and we'll expect that the leader of EFF behave responsibly and not intimidate, not allow his members of the Red Berets to intimidate innocent people of Phoenix and surrounding areas.
You've also said that, you're feeling singled out as a community by the DA and the EFF. Are you saying that you haven't had any sort of interactions at all leading up to the shutdown and, just reflecting on what the way forward will be come Monday?
Well, our advice to the leader of EFF is if he wants to beat Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa, do it at the elections in 2024. There's plenty of energy crisis solutions, which is expropriation of these coal fields that are lying, in deposits in their tons, and you can reduce the issue of load shedding. You also have a basin in the Karoo that's lying with shale gas. So I don't understand. These are politicians that have an impact in the communities that can table positive solutions in Parliament. So the issue of trying to divide and actually ensure that a message of ethnic cleansing is now being sent across the minority community.
Yeah. If you'll allow me there, just to interrupt you, perhaps just to repeat my question, I'm asking about the engagements on the ground with EFF leadership. Has that happened in Phoenix with your association?
The issue is that we have not actually met the EFF leadership. I know Mr. Mongezi on a personal level. But I have not, I think Phoenix, the other day there was some pamphlets being handed out by the EFF, and there's been no issues. It's just that we just expect a peaceful march. So the issue is, I think that's what every single citizen in this country expects. And for everything to go smoothly, for obviously the issue of the main points that hit home in terms of the energy crisis. And I don't think residents in Phoenix have an issue if there's a peaceful demonstration.
Phoenix came under the spotlight during the July unrest in 2021. I would imagine that in itself has a huge impact as the national shutdown is set to get underway come Monday. Was it at all reassuring that Police Minister Bheki Cele was in KwaZulu-Natal speaking about how perhaps urging officers to be firm when enforcing the law on Monday? Does that inspire any confidence at all? Because we know that the NAT joints also addressed the media, speaking to how officers and the SAPS as well as other law enforcement officials will be on the ground to rule out any sort of criminality, elements of criminality and so forth.
If it relieves racial tension, then I think communities are definitely for a strong security presence, because people are tense on the ground, and we interact with the people on a daily basis from all walks of life, from all communities, from all races. So people are tense. We've been through 3 traumatic periods: the COVID, the floods, the 2021 riots, and is KZN really ready for another riot or another unstable period of the entire debacle, where people are going to be taking to the streets? And remember, you have a lot of disgruntled people, and it only takes one bullet to start a war. So people are really tense out there. I don't think, not even in Phoenix, in all other communities.
Yeah, and ahead of this shutdown, what are some of the expectations? As you've spoken about your concerns and challenges in the lead-up, but what are expectations given the reassurance that has been really reiterated and emphasized during the past 2 days?
We expect EFF and his leadership to actually toe the line and behave, and ask their members to behave. And if the leader wants to be the future president of this country, he has to set an example. And he has to make sure that he unites this country. I don't think a country divided can move forward. We're already seeing a mass exodus of our professionals and of people leaving this country. So if there's one message that I could send out to the leader, is to unite this country. Because, we all know that the ANC is going to go below this 50% quota, and in terms of the election, of next year's election. So the issue is, we know that EFF and ANC will form a coalition, and the EFF leader will have a high-ranking position. Even he might be the next deputy president. So the issue is, and the message is, unite your country. Unite the citizens of your country. We've already come from a very historical past that has been really, really divisive, and people have been divided on race lines. And I think the leader should come to Phoenix and have a cup of tea with the organization post the shutdown. Because even in Phoenix, we have our own issues where we've asked for a proclamation in terms of land grabbing, land tenure, and land restitution. So there's lots of inner political workings within the confines of Phoenix that even the organization is fighting on a daily basis in terms of poverty alleviation, etc. It's something that Julius Malema's party fight on a daily basis. So Phoenix is a low middle income area and more on the poverty line. So the issue is that we need the shutdown, no doubt. We need peaceful protests. We need to send a message to the government that we cannot be load shedding and businesses not performing, employees not being paid fully in terms of shutdowns, etc., and even in terms of load shedding. So
with the mixed emotions, if you just allow me, just for the sake of time, with the mixed emotions on the ground in Phoenix, and given what happened in July, the racial tensions that erupted there, is there a sense at all that perhaps this shutdown could trigger some unfinished business when it comes to those tensions within the community. Do you think that is something of concern?
As I said, it takes one bullet to start a war. So it's how the law enforcement now unfold their procedures, plans, and contingencies. And I think the Indo-African community needs to get together. We need some sort of dialogue. We've been reaching out to certain individuals in the rights, and I think it's been very successful. So having some sort of an Indo-African race institute would do our democracy wonders, because I think both these parties, both these races are coming from historically disadvantaged background. I mean, we Indians, we were brought by the British. Our indenture was another sweetened form of slavery. So the issue is we're fighting one common enemy, that's capitalism and the way we've been mistreated by our colonial masters. So the issue is that we really need to join forces. And I mean, we no longer considered as Indian. We are full African in terms of our race, in terms of our background. I haven't been to India, so when people tell me, you know what, go back to India, I tell them, yeah, take me and pay my flight, because I've not been back. And I don't want to visit India. This is my country of birth. So, that being said, it's hurtful when people tell you, go back to India.
Mm. And when it comes to social cohesion, in looking back at the years and where you're heading in terms of achieving it, how far do you think you've come since 2021? We've started up as I made mention, Indo-African Race Relation Institute, and it's busy being instituted as a non-profit company with directors and stuff. So we're still waiting, for that entire NPO or NPC to be registered. And we would like to, build strong Indo-African relations in this country. And I think we have a great, future in terms of if everybody unite. And we want to see, a leader of Mandela's type or of Walter Sisulu's type to emerge. We can't have divisional politics, race-based politics, and also politics where you divide, people on lines of race, and you want to divide and rule. So that is one thing that I will not, subscribe to. So the whole idea now, even post 2021, is to build strong relations. And if you look at the riots, it was caused by the main troublemakers in Phoenix were these drug lords and these taxi lords that started this thing. But innocent lives were lost. And we want to see the full might of the law take place in terms of those that actually killed our African brothers and sisters. And also on the other spectrum, those that killed people of Indian origin, they must face the full might of the law. Yeah. So we're living in not a pariah state. We're living in a state of equality. So we'll expect the law to unfold and people to be protected, even on Monday. Very well. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time and weighing in this discussion. That was Phoenix Tenants and Residents Association's General Secretary, Mervin Govender.